And it's in that recognition that you see that there's that the problem that you thought you needed to solve a moment ago isn't even there, right? The problem of your anxiety, the problem of your disappointment, the problem of your it's always this thought-based delusion that something that's not actually present here it needs to be unraveled. I'm not saying that there aren't challenging experiences. I mean, there's obviously the things like physical pain and that doesn't magically go away once you know how to meditate. But so much of our suffering in response to something like physical pain is our psychological contraction around it, and our anxiety about it, and our fear that it won't go away, and our fear of what it means, and do I need to get an MRI, and is this cancer, and like all of that. Again, there's not. You can figure all that out. I mean, I'm not saying you never need to go to a doctor and never need to get an MRI, and that you're never going to get cancer. But each stage along the way, there's always the question of what is worth paying attention to now. And I mean, this is where the Stoics have this very much in hand. I mean, this whole issue of what is the function of worry, right? I mean, either you can do something about this problem right now, or you can't. If you can do something about the problem, well, then do that thing. And if you can't, worry doesn't add anything to your capacity to do anything. It just makes you miserable twice over. And so, once you recognize that, it becomes easier to just relax back into the mere awareness of what is actually happening right now.
Yeah, for the Stoics, it's not things that upset us; it's our opinion about things, and the ability to sort of catch when you're having an opinion is a real superpower. And to me, that is what meditation is: the ability to realize or mindfulness is the ability to realize when you're having thoughts and opinions and engaging in extrapolation and speculation and judgment, as opposed to just being in whatever that thing is, which, as you said, it could be pain. You could be in pain, but what we add on top of that, I think the Stoics say is, and I'm going to die from it, and I am a victim, on and on and on. We're adding all this language around it instead of simply dealing with the first impression or the reality of it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about the app, because it's something I think about too. I mean, it's great. I know so many people that rave about it. It's weird to take this timeless, ancient thing and make it a thing that people can use and purchase. I think about that. It's not that it's, I feel ethically challenged about it, but I do try to think about I think of myself as this steward of this thing that's been beneficial to me, and I put time and energy and work in it, and that's why I feel comfortable, selling it as a thing. But I really liked your idea that you charge for it, and then you give it away for free to anyone who basically can't afford to pay for it. I've always found that really impressive about you.
Yeah, that's been my approach with all my digital media. So my podcast is also a subscription podcast. I don't run ads on it. I just think there's really two priorities for me here. I mean, one is just from the media business side. I feel that we have suffered a race to the bottom in how we value digital media. I mean, the ad-based business model of the internet, I think, really screwed us, and never more so than on social media with things like Facebook. But really across the board, it has given everyone the sense that digital content should be free, right? It's like you shouldn't have to pay for anything that's digital, because the expectation is it all should be ad supported. And as I'm sure you've talked about elsewhere, this has created a really perverse set of incentives in our economy. Where we just people are being manipulated, their attention is being is being gamed in ways that are beneficial to companies but not beneficial to the person. And it becomes, we have built these various outrage machines that spread divisive and largely false content. And, and has given an immense agency to liars and lunatics, and has made it uh, very hard to make sense at scale. And we're various people are working to unravel that in various ways, and that's something I've talked about a fair amount on my podcast. But so I've always felt that the better model is a subscription model, that on some level you get what you pay for. And it's not an accident that Facebook and Twitter and these other platforms have fairly shattered society, and yet a service like Netflix can just show you good movies and good television, and you pay for it, and it's fine. Um, so I would like a lot more of Netflix and a lot less of the Facebook Twitter experience in general. But in addition, I feel that, I mean, given the nature of the content, given that these practices and this kind of uh, thinking is so life changing for people, I have always felt an ethical responsibility to make it available to anyone who needs it. So that money is never the reason why someone can't get access to it. So um, really, I'm doing something that, from a business point of view, seems a little paradoxical. I mean, the waking up is more expensive than other meditation apps, and I think it's probably, I think the price will probably go up in the future, because I think again, the whole category has been unnaturally anchored to free, in the end. And I do want to build a very successful business that can do lots of cool things out in the world, and I want people to be paid well. And I've got, I'm